Hello, and welcome back to Wild Sanative. This is the Path of Wholeness, a journey of healing, awareness, nature, emotional truth, and returning to the self. In the last video, I spoke about grief becoming rage. I shared how the loss of my son Danny brought me into a darkness I did not know how to carry, and how my love for him slowly began to guide me through that rage into something more meaningful. Today I want to speak about what happened when I realized I could not keep living in constant pain without finding some form of relief. Because after Danny passed away, I was not simply sad. I was waking up every day fully conscious that I was in pain. Almost every second of the day I could feel it. There was no break in my mind, no quiet space, no moment where the reality of my son's death was not present. I was in a fog, a deep, heavy fog. The pain in my heart overtook every thought in my mind, and I knew I had to find something to help me. I tried traditional therapy, but at the time, it didn't reach the places inside of me that were hurting the most. And I did not want to take antidepressant medication because for me, I was afraid it would turn off my emotions. I knew I needed to feel, I knew I needed to grieve, but I also knew I needed relief. I needed a breath. I needed a moment of peace. I needed something that could reach beyond the mind and touch the deeper places where my pain was living. So in my desperate quest to feel some relief, I began searching for alternative ways to heal. I began looking into things I had not fully understood before. Essential oils, energy healing, mediumship readings, crystals, holistic healing, spiritual support, natural wellness. I was not looking for something trendy. I was not looking for something for entertainment. I was looking for help. I was looking for anything that might soften the pain enough for me to keep going. And then I came across an advertisement for a universal holistic fair. The fair mentioned such things as essential oils, energy healings, mediumship readings, crystals, and other holistic healing modalities. Something in me felt drawn to it, so I decided to go just to see what it was about. I remember getting a ride there and thinking I probably would not stay more than about an hour or two, but to my surprise, I stayed for the whole event. And that day became one of the first doorways into a new part of my healing journey. It was also my first encounter with Blanca Beyar, who would eventually become my spiritual teacher. At the fair, I was drawn to a table with a woman whose name felt familiar to me. Later, I realized she had been someone who sent me a message of condolences on Facebook after Danny passed away. She had a table about angels and angel healing. There were cards spread on the table, face down, and she invited me to pick one. So I did. I picked a card, and the card was the angel Daniel. In that moment, something inside of me shifted. I felt intuitively that I was in the right place. It was not something I could explain with logic. It was a feeling, a knowing, a small thread of light in the middle of a very dark season. So I stayed. I walked around, I observed, I listened, I felt the energy in the space. And what struck me the most was not only what was being offered there, it was what I experienced inside myself. For the first time in months and months, while I was at the fair, I was not consumed by the constant thoughts of my own son's death. For the first time in what felt like forever, there was a pause, a small space, a moment where my mind was not completely overtaken. The pain didn't disappear, my grief didn't vanish, but something softened. The energy in that space felt healing. It brought me relief for a little while. And when you have been living in pain every second of every day, even a little relief feels sacred. It feels like a breath. It feels like mercy. It feels like the soul being given a place to rest. When I left the fair, I knew I needed to come back. Somehow, I found something that reached the pain in my heart in a way nothing else had. And that was the beginning of a synchronous path, a path into spirituality, a path into holistic healing, a path into energy awareness, a path into learning that healing is not only something we think through, it is something we feel through, breathe through, pray through, release through, live through. That experience opened me to a deeper understanding that we are not just minds trying to survive painful thoughts. We are whole beings. We are bodies carrying grief. We are hearts carrying love. We are nervous systems trying to feel safe again. We are spirits seeking meaning, connection, and remembrance. We are energy fields responding to the world around us. And when we are deeply wounded, healing often has to happen on many levels. This became one of the foundations of Wild Sanative. Healing is not about forcing yourself to be okay. It is not about pretending pain is not there. It is not about bypassing grief or rushing the process. Healing begins when we create enough safety inside the body, heart, and spirit for the pain to finally be witnessed. Sometimes that safety comes through breath. It comes through nature, through prayer, through journaling, sometimes through herbs, oils, crystals, or energy work, sometimes through a teacher who helps us see what we could not see alone, sometimes through a moment of synchronicity that reminds us that we are being guided. For me, the holistic fair was one of those moments. It did not give me all the answers, it did not erase my loss, and it did not take away the grief. But it gave me one thing I desperately needed: relief. And relief matters. A few minutes of peace matters. One moment where the chest loosens matters. One moment where the mind quiets matters. One moment where the heart feels held matters. Because sometimes healing does not begin with a miracle. Sometimes healing begins with one small opening, one breath, one sign, one place where the soul whispers, there may be another way through this. That day I began to understand that the body, mind, and spirit are deeply connected. When the heart is broken, the body feels it. When the mind is overwhelmed, the nervous system feels it. When the spirit is disconnected, life can feel empty and unbearable. And when healing enters, even gently, all parts of us begin to respond. This is why Wild Sanative honors the whole person: the emotional body, the physical body, the spiritual body, the energetic body, the natural world, the unseen support, the wisdom of the heart, the guidance of the soul, and the healing power of love. On this path, herbs are not just plants. They are reminders that the earth still offers nourishment. Crystals are not just stones. They are reminders of steadiness, grounding, and ancient wisdom. Water is not just something to drink. It is a way of returning to flow. Breath is not just automatic. It is a bridge back into the present moment. Nature is not separate from us. It is one of our first healers. And spirituality is not about escaping life. It is about learning how to live with more awareness, more compassion, more connection, and more truth. That was the doorway that opened for me, a doorway I did not know I was looking for, a doorway that eventually led me to deeper teachings, deeper healings, and a greater understanding of the path I was walking. And through Blanca Beyar, through holistic healing, through spiritual learning, and through the signs and synchronicities that kept appearing, I began to realize something. I was not being asked to forget my son. I was not being asked to move on from him. I was being asked to find a way to keep loving him without letting the pain destroy me. I was being asked to let love guide me into healing. I was being asked to come home to myself one breath at a time. And that is the part of the path of wholeness. Not finding one thing that fixes everything, but following the small lights that appear when you are ready to see them. Listening to the quiet pull of your soul. Allowing support to come in forms that you might not have expected. And being willing to learn that healing can be wider, deeper, and more sacred than one believed. So today I invite you to reflect gently. Where in your life are you longing for relief? What part of you has been carrying pain without rest? What small doorway might be opening in front of you? What form of healing is your soul quietly asking you to explore? You do not have to know the whole path. You do not have to have all the answers. Sometimes you only need to follow the next small sign, the next breath, the next place that feels peaceful, the next moment that helps your heart soften. Thank you for walking this path with me. Welcome back to Wild Sanative. Welcome back to the Path of Wholeness, and welcome back to yourself. Healing does not always arrive all at once. Sometimes it begins with one small moment of relief and the courage to follow where that relief leads.